So today I woke up feeling kind of lonely. You know that feeling where you're just like, what? I do spend a lot of time alone actually, but I don't often feel just straight up lonely. So I knew right away that I needed to get outside today before I kind of spiraled into some kind of cranky sadness. I had to go do something outside to give my mental health and my mood a little bit of a boost. So the first thing I did was to Google some uncrowded places to visit near me. I was looking for uncrowded places because I know that when I'm a little bit cranky, I don't love to be around tons of people. And part of being self-aware is knowing when you should chill the hell out and not subject other people to your foolishness. So I found this list put out by Atlas Obscura, and I saw that this little eclectic menagerie park was not too far away from me. It was a little bit of a drive, but I decided to go and check it out. I thought it would be a nice way to kind of just go look at something that I can do alone. I had some plans for the day, but they fell through and it was too late to make other plans. So I just decided to drive over to this eclectic menagerie park but first go get something to eat. So I hopped on what is called the 610 loop. For those of you who are not familiar with Houston, you pretty much have to drive everywhere. But driving gave me a chance to take a really nice look at this beautiful sky. It's miserably hot here right now, but the sky was really clear and pretty, and that alone really cheered me up, just getting out of the house. So I drove kind of close to where the menagerie park is, and I went to the Waffle House, and the Waffle House was a little disappointing, as you can see on my face. I'll tell you why here in a second, but I ordered my food and they were playing John B. So them playing the John B was really the best part. The food was good though. I ordered the pork chops and the double hash browns and some sweet tea. So that was hands down the worst Waffle House experience I've ever had in the entirety of my several decades of life on this awful planet. The waitress, I don't know if it was her first day or something. I'm trying to be very considerate and trying to be very understanding, because Lord knows I would not make it as a Waffle House waitress. I was a waitress for all of like a week when I was in college before I had to have foot surgery. So hey, I'm not hating because people suck, and I try to be very considerate, but that was awful. Like, it took forever to get my food. She never came back to offer me a refill of anything. She forgot my waffle. We had Waffle House and she forgot my waffle somehow. But when she did make it, she didn't charge me for it, so I left her a tip. And she seems like a nice girl, so maybe it was just her first day. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But for me, as like the customer, as the consumer, that was awful, and I'm never coming back here to this Waffle House. I came out here thinking like, oh, it'd be cute, kind of go out of the way and go to a new Waffle House or something. I'm not going to do that again. Well, I'm not going to come over here again. This area is also super rough. Like, when I got over here, I was like, oh my God, this is where a lot of crime happens in Houston. I mean, Houston has a lot of crime everywhere, but I know these streets from hearing them on the news a lot about violent crimes. So I'm gonna go and get the hell away from this part of town, and I won't come back over here. Also, this Waffle House was super hot. Like, I know that Waffle House is not supposed to be like super comfortable where you go and spend hours or whatever, but it was super hot, and there were so many flies, And the table, when they wiped the table off, they had left it wet. And another lady who was maybe more experienced came over and dried my table for me. I was about to ask, like, hey, could you please dry off the table? They left the booth wet. It was gross. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Will never be back here again. So let's go on to the next part of my day out. And I'm kind of wishing I would have stayed in now. So along the way, driving to the next location, I saw those pretty flowers. Oh my God, they were so pretty. And I decided to not get back on the freeway. I decided to just drive through the neighborhoods and stuff, kind of take the surface streets in order to get to the next destination. So here I am. So you can see the pipes. So look this place up. I'll link it down below, but you can see all of the pipes. This is really like a pipe yard or something. And they decided to create some public art. You can see here along the right side, there's a rocket ship and some birds and like a bird man or something and a soldier. And then there was this peacock. So I just basically pulled along the side of the road, and I wasn't going to get out at first. This is kind of shot from the car. But then I was like, well, let me get out. It's so hot, y'all. I did not want to really get out of the car. But you can see a little bit better once I got out of the car. There's like a truck in the back and a dancing man. And this is a big old fishing pole. This thing was so tall. You can see the top of the fishing pole. And this is all just made out of metal. And it's just along the side of the road. You can totally stop and look at it. And so the truck was at the end of the fishing pole. This was my favorite one, the big old owl. And then there's an armadillo in the back. There are some cows and like some spider car things and an airplane. And I don't know what that was. Maybe another kind of bird. And then the big spider thing there. Another spider car kind of thing. This one was interesting. I thought it was kind of strange, but fun to look at. And let's see what's over here on this side. Just some, these are singers, like a mariachi band. You can't really tell from the footage, that you can't really tell, but there's like a dinosaur in the back, and then there is a hippo way back there with his mouth open. So I decided to try to take a picture of myself for the thumbnail. So if you clicked on this video, you already saw the thumbnail that I took. So next I decided to drive back across town, a little bit closer to where I live, not super close to where I live. But you can see here some really pretty shots of me driving on, I don't know what freeway this is. I think this is 288. If you're from Houston and you know, comment down below and remind me. But I think this is 288. And so just driving back into town, and you can see the Houston skyline there in the distance, the downtown skyline, I should be more specific. And it was, sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit down, I do like to just get outside and take a little bit of a drive. I know that right now the gas prices are very high. So I don't get out and just drive aimlessly as much as I would like to. But I do enjoy going for a drive, especially when there's not that much traffic. So this was a nice drive. So I finally made it back across town. I'm getting close to the Barnes & Noble. And like I just mentioned about the gas prices, here they are back under $4 a gallon. And this is one of the most affluent parts of town where I was at, where I'm at in this part. So for it to be under $4 a gallon in this part of town is a good sign, because usually it is quite expensive, because the people who live over here can easily afford it, I guess. So just driving to the Barnes & Noble. So there's the Barnes & Noble, and there's a Starbucks next to it. This is in the part of Houston called River Oaks. You'll see the sign here, right there. And this is like the River Oaks Shopping Center. So really nice part of town. I should say it's affluent because you don't have to be in the rich part of town for it to be nice. So I'll say it's the affluent, one of the affluent parts of town. You know that you're kind of in like a rich part of town when there is a Talbot's. They sell like clothes for wealthy ladies, but it looks like some of it is on sale according to that sign. I did not go in there. They don't sell clothes. It's like my style, maybe in 20 years or so. So I went into the Barnes & Noble, and the Barnes & Noble here has like a paper source inside of it. It's like a stationery shop. And I made a beeline to these like big sheets of paper. You can use them for wrapping gifts. And I didn't buy anything, but gosh, they're so pretty. Look at this. Wouldn't you love to get a gift wrapped in such pretty paper? Gorgeous. And then I also looked at the journals. They have a massive selection of journals, and I thought this one had a very uplifting message. Next, I looked at the cookbooks. I didn't buy a cookbook. I love buying cookbooks though. But look at this guy. I thought he was just cute as a button with his little kilt on. I think that's called a kilt. And then Snoop Dogg, y'all just doing anything, but I don't hate on you, Snoop Dogg. I don't hate on you. And then I saw this magazine with Megan Thee Stallion on it, so of course I had to take a look at it. I didn't buy it, but I totally wanted to. I love to look at the magazines, and I should have bought that one, but I didn't. So after I finished looking around, I came outside and I saw these gorgeous flowers. They just recently planted these. These were not here when I was here a few weeks ago. And I thought they were gorgeous, so I decided to stop and admire them. Look at that pretty bloom. So I was able to escape Barnes & Noble by only spending $20. So I'll show you what I got before I leave here. I got this witchcraft book because some of the things that I read inside were insane. And I also got this digital detox workbook. So both of the things that I got were on sale. Very self-conscious vlogging outside. So that was a really nice experience. I came to my car because I'm very self-conscious with vlogging outdoors. And people kept walking by, as they should. It's a bookstore. I was really happy to see so many people in the bookstore because right now in Houston, I think we only have 2 Barnes & Nobles left in like Houston proper, only 2 or 3. So this witchcraft book, I want to tell you about this before I forget. So I'm going to go home after this. The reason why I bought this book was super crazy and hilarious. And I just flipped to this spell and I was like, what? Okay, so I finally found it. This alone is the reason why I bought this book. So I've never cast a spell, and I don't plan to cast any spells, but I have a real interest in like the occult and esoteric kind of stuff and witchcraft and like reading about the history of it, but not practicing it. I just like to know stuff. And so there are 2 spells in this book that made me want to buy it. The first one is to see a visage of one's future husband. And so I guess you can go buy this book if you're interested and you want to know what the spell is. But the spell to see a vision of your future husband is very interesting and hilarious. I guess you can comment down below if you really want me to tell you what it is. I might type it out for you. And then the other one was to learn the first initial of one's intended. So there is a spell that you can do, a charm, they call it a charm, that you can do that will reveal the first initial of your true love's name. And I'll read it to you because it's very short. Pare an apple so that the peel remains in one long piece. This is already probably something that I would never be able to do. Swing this around your head 3 times and throw it on the floor. The letter it forms will be the initial of your intended sweetheart's name. Here it is. I am very tempted to try that, even though I do like to eat my apple peels and I don't want to throw one on the floor, but maybe I could find out. If it doesn't spell out like Chris Evans, I don't want to know. So I ended the day just chilling out with my cat. You can see her there. There she is. I think she missed me. You can see I have on my little workout top, so I did my little workout and just ordered some food, I think, and watched a movie. So that was it. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, check out another video, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you in the next one. And by the way, if you are new here, I make a lot of mental health related videos, and I try to make the videos very interesting and present mental health tips and stuff in interesting ways. Today's video ended up being a vlog, but I have a lot of other options for you. So check out one of these other videos that you're seeing on your screen right now. And until next time, stay well and namaste.